Welcome back to Crystal Talks. It's Katie and Cynthia here sharing another magical, amazing stone with you today. This stone has a really cool, interesting fact about it. It relates to the Princess of Wales, who the Princess of Wales was in 1901. She visited the World's Fair in Buffalo, New York, and she was presented with a gift of this stone. And she was so captivated by it that she made arrangements, or she ordered arrangements, whatever princesses do, I'm not really sure. Arrangements were made to quarry enough of this stone to decorate her London residence in Marlborough House. In 1906, 130 tons of this rock were shipped to England to be used as a decorative stone in the princess's royal home. So this is a bit of a royal stone, if I do say so myself. Cynthia, what are we talking about today?
This is one that frequently can be, especially in smaller pieces, confused with Lapis Lazuli, which we've talked about before, until you look closer and you see the little veins of the white calcite running through it. Sodalite is a beautiful blue, is just a little bit grayer tinge than the lapis does, but it's a beautiful, and it's a more recent stone that has just come into being and used more recently in history again.
Yes, and did you know that you can actually, sometimes there is sodalite inside of lapis, which makes it all the more confusing when that happens, right? But like Cynthia said, this is a stone that was confused as a sapphire. Like it's sometimes thought of as lapis until you see the white stone. So when we talked about lapis, we said that was confused as sapphire, but so is sodalite. It was confused as sapphire, not nowadays, but in the ancient world, way back when. So a lot of the history is unknown. A lot of the history would be labeled as lapis's history. There has been sodalite found in tombs, in ancient tombs and ruins, where lapis lazuli might have been expected to be used. So again, that identification in the ancient world. It was frequently used by Egyptian priests to dispel guilt and fears and to strengthen the power of mind over body, which is similar to lapis's uses in ancient Egypt. Around 2600 BC, the Kral peoples traded for sodalite in what is now known as Peru, and the residents of Tiwanaku, I might say that wrong, I apologize if I did, which is now the modern Bolivia, also traded for sodalite. But it was first officially discovered in Greenland in 1811. So that's pretty cool. We don't hear about Greenland a lot, right? We know that it's ice and it's cold, but this is where sodalite was first discovered. So I think that's pretty cool. And it also gained major importance in 1891 when vast deposits of it was found in Canada. So it has a bit of history there, but if we look at lapis's history and sapphire's history, we can probably find a little bit more about what sodalite was used for as well. But what do we know that it does today? What are its benefits that we know of now, Cynthia?
Well, we're talking in this series about the stones that support your growth of your intuition. This one is known as the logic stone. It brings order and calmness to the mind. And of course, both of those are very, very important to help us develop that intuition, to be able to listen to what our intuition is saying. It encourages rational thought, objectivity, truth, and intuition, as we've talked about. It creates emotional balance, and it calms panic attacks. So it's helpful if you know someone that suffers from panic attacks, a very emotional situation. It enhances our self-esteem, self-acceptance, and self-trust. Again, trusting yourself, listening to your intuition, and learning to believe in it. It also strengthens imagination and supports artistic expression. Balances in a physical realm, it balances our metabolism, boosts the immune system, and helps overcome calcium deficiency. It's also a great one for combating radiation damage. It helps soak up that electromagnetic smog that is all around us these days. And it helps treat issues with the throat, the vocal cords, and helps with hoarseness as well as digestive disorders. So again, quite a list of ways we can use the stone. Do you have a favorite way that you use sodalite, Katie?
I like to use sodalite actually with the throat and third eye chakras, which no surprise, that's what it aligns with, those two chakras. But I like to kind of use sodalite to meditate with, either place on my throat or hold, to kind of create that calm, clear mental space, to access and stimulate my intuition if I'm kind of struggling with connecting to it, hearing it. And really, it's really good to help you support or to help you focus in the moment, help you really get in the present moment, which is where you activate your intuition and your truth anyway, because both things are always evolving with each other. So the present moment is really where it all comes together. That's where the magic is. And sodalite really can support you to do that. So I like to use it in that way. Also, just place it on the third eye or the throat space and resting in a yoga pose like legs up the wall, a reclined bound angle, or a supported bridge, just to encourage that flow of intuition and truth. Can be really, really powerful. What are some other ways that we can use this stone?
You can wear it, for example, to support self-expression, as we've talked about before. Anytime you place it directly against the skin, you get a real powerful connection with the stone. If you place it in your pocket as well. If you place it throughout your home, anywhere, that it will help support emotional balance in the home. In your office or workplace in particular, it helps promote that creative communication, and that's communication with others as well as yourself. So it's great for that aspect. In feng shui, it's used for that water and energy flow that we've talked about before. And this is one that's great to use, as many in your roller bottles with essential oils. Do you have a favorite again among those, Katie?
Well, I think that I like the idea of using sodalite in your roller bottles, adding and infusing the oils with that. That's kind of what's really calling to me, because it's such a great stone for your truth and for your intuition. And I just believe in the magic of nature and pairing it together. And for this stone specifically, it's really calling to me to have, that essential oils with the stone to kind of add that magic to it, right? Kind of enhance its power. So, Cynthia, what oils can we use in our roller bottles with, or what kind of, I know we always say use your intuition and figure out the one that works, but what are some suggestions? That's the word I was looking for.
Finally, well, good ones to start with. If your intention that you've picked is that logic that we've talked about, lemon, cardamom, or dill are great oils to support that. If you're looking for the peace, which again, sodalite is a good one to bring you, Roman chamomile, patchouli, or copaiba would be great great ones to choose. If the sodalite is what you've chosen to look for truth, black pepper, geranium, or Siberian fir. The sodalite is great for optimism, and that would be paired with melissa, tangerine, or bergamot. If the resolution is your intention, then try birch, helichrysum, or lime. And on the physical realm, if you're looking for the work with your throat, then I would try lavender, thyme, or peppermint for those. So anything particular there speaking to you today, Katie?
Well, for a long time, anytime I would go to the spa, I would smell this smell, like they would use this oil, and I could not figure out what it was for the life of me. And then finally, my mom gave me this bottle of oil, like for massages. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the smell. What is in this? Right? Like, I was like, I finally found it. And it was German chamomile and peppermint, but I have Roman chamomile oil and peppermint. So when I ran out of that, I started to remake it with Roman chamomile and peppermint. And, those two really stood out to me because I just love that smell. And it's just really, really, I don't know, I can't describe it right now, but I love those two together. It just is a really wonderful smell, very peaceful, very soothing, and very opening for the throat, for that inner peace, for that intuition. So those two are what's calling out to me, that room chamomile and peppermint together. And when you're picking your oils and you're figuring out how you want to use Sodalite, great mantras to use with the stone are, I think calm and clear, and I'm open to new ideas. This is activating those creative solutions through your intuition. And another great one is, I center inward to awaken my inner truth and wisdom. Really big thing to remember when we're talking about truth, when we're talking about intuition, and these stones we've been talking about for the past few weeks, is that your intuition and your truth are always flowing. They're always changing. And so when you center inward, you actually awaken your truth in the moment, your intuition in the moment, because it's always shifting. What your truth was yesterday could be totally different today, which means your intuition is giving you totally different wisdom today than it was yesterday. So that daily check-in and using stones like sodalite, like labradorite, like lapis, these stones we've been talking about are just so amazing and supportive for you to do those daily centering inwards, to really connect to what is true for you today and what kind of divine wisdom is coming through for you today. So really, really amazing mantras, really amazing stone. Pair it with those essential oils. Don't forget that. And so there are multiple goddesses that align with Sodalite. There's Hera, the queen of all the Greek gods and goddesses. There's Nuit, the Egyptian goddess of heaven and sky. There's Danu, the Celtic river goddess. Venus, the Roman goddess of love. And Sophia, the goddess of wisdom. So this stone is pulling in some really divine energy here. Heaven, sky, river, love, wisdom, pulling all that energy in to give that vibration to you. So really, really amazing, amazing stone. Cynthia, did you want to add anything?
Give Sodalite a second look. It looks like a more common stone. It really isn't, it's not dazzly like labradorite or some of the others that we've talked about, but it's so, so powerful. Keep it around, give it a chance. I have come to love Sodalite over time. It's just a beautiful, beautiful energy that this stone has. So I guess that would be my addition for that one. Give it a chance.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you would like this PDF with all the information we talked about today on Sodalite, just drop a little comment below, PDF, and we will get it right over to you. Thanks for being here with us. We love to be here with you sharing this magical information, and we'll meet you back here next week.